Our hands have immense importance in our lives. We use them to express our feelings, to touch things, and currently the way we use our hands can save lives or take them. But how are hands important within Shakespeare? My name's Emma, and on today's Shakespeare Sunday, we will be examining hands in Shakespeare's work and all the meaning they can convey. Our hands are often said to contain the marks of our identity. It's what makes palm reading so popular within modern culture, but the palm of one's hands was also significant to a Shakespearean audience. Paulina, in A Winter's Tale, references the very mould and frame of hands can be used to identify a long-lost child. Our hands, and indeed our handwriting, are an extension of our soul. Palms could tell you everything you needed about a person, their standing in society, their gender, their entire identity. There was also the manners code of kissing one's hand, that not only blessed and recognised their identity, but also confirmed their status. Shakespeare uses this code of manners ironically within Julius Caesar, where Brutus kisses Caesar's hand just moments before stabbing him along with his co-conspirators. The hands, as Karim-Cooper suggests, are the principal organs of sense and touch, sense here meaning more than just our ability to feel things between our fingers. Hands also had a double purpose. The back of your hand would be used for social business, whereas the palm was a more intimate area. Hands were placed under great scrutiny at the time, symbolising wholeness, symmetry, and a sense of proportion. To all intents and purposes, they were the most valuable body part. Your life was quite literally within your own hands. This makes Lavinia's mutilation within Titus Andronicus all the more disturbing, as she is ripped of her identity and voice both metaphorically and literally. Similar to this, within Othello, handlessness is aligned with beastliness. The logic of this draws upon the manual capabilities of hands. Opposable thumbs mean we can pick things up, open jars, and use tools. Lavinia demonstrates how difficult these tasks are when trying to write out the name of her attacker without the use of her hands. She's reduced to a beastly status, falling from being Rome's rich ornament to having no aesthetic value at all. Demetrius and Chiron joke about how she might regain her beauty, telling her to go home, call for sweet water, wash her hands. And we all know somebody else who was told to wash their hands. Lady Macbeth's hand-washing ritual can be viewed as her most defining characteristic. She does it to clean herself physically, but also to wash her hands metaphorically of the murder of Duncan. As is clear, it is one spot that won't be cleaned easily, or that sweet waters will disguise. Her physical language of hand-washing can be seen to link to her psychological state. She slowly becomes more unhinged as her husband's ambition overleaps her own plans and her control dwindles. It seems that the only thing she does have power over are her hands, but in Act 5, she even loses that. My interpretation is that her habitual hand-washing is some sort of muscle memory from a time where she had control over her actions. However, her unstable mentality has turned it into a form of torture, as she is unable to rid herself from the damned spot of her guilt. Now, why is all this relevant to today? It is part of all actor training to use your hands wisely, and there are several training programs that actors undertake that focus on gesture. But more importantly, the Globe Theatre, under the artistic direction of Michel Terry, actively cast actors who sign within their summer 2018 season. Reversing Juliet's plea of letting lips do what hands do, the Globe actively expressed an inclusive atmosphere by mixing verbal and physical expression of Shakespeare's work. Hands are also an important part of adaptation, particularly within ballet and theatre more widely. Ballets such as Prokofiev's Romeo and Juliet use a standardized language of gestures to portray emotions ranging from euphoria to devastation. Within Matthew Bourne's recent reimagining of this tragic tale, Verona was turned into a prison or a mental institution, and dancers use their hands to express a physical vocabulary of hard labor. In both cases, hands and the gestures they make are key to understanding non-verbal communication. Understanding where the hands are in performance or even on the page unlocks another level of understanding within Shakespeare's work. Thank you for watching this week's Shakespeare Sunday. We've only just scratched the surface of this topic, but if you'd like to discover more, the source book I used was Farah Karim-Cooper's amazing book, The Hand on the Shakespearean Stage, from Arden Publishing, that I finally got around to reading this week, and I definitely recommend it. So that's all from this week. From all of us here at the Shakespeare Society, stay safe, stay home, and wash your hands.